Hello to my brothers of Tau Omega Alpha, and to those who are watching this video. I mostly appreciate it. So be ready to be educated by this most interesting information I'll be giving you. Uno. Hi, I am a bull. Not just any bull, but forget about that. I will tell you about the most beautiful islands, which is Fiji. 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 Oh! Guess what? Fiji's culture is a tapestry of indigenous Fijian, Indian, European, Chinese, and other nationalities. Interesting, right? Language. Fiji English. The national indigenous language? One. Only one of the most dialects that exist in Fiji group. Each of the 14 provinces, more or less, have their own dialect, though there is a clear distinction between the dialects of the west, central, and eastern parts of country. Art. An indigenous art form of Meke, which may incorporate the Sisi, women's fan dance, or the Meki Wesi, if I'm correct, men's spear dance. It is usually a narrative of an important event such as war, a chiefly installation, or even a scandal.
In culture, its various crafts and music give it an identity along with a traditional etiquette. And various forms of clothing attire, its unique architecture also tell the story of the culture and its evolution. Food. The cuisine of Fiji in pre-colonial times consisted of root crops, vegetables, fruits, as well as various land animals such as, well, pigs, mice, and birds. The coastal tribes would have had to stay but also a large amount of local seafood. Religion. Fiji's old religion is no longer practiced by the majority of the indigenous community who have adopted Christianity. I hope you guys learned something about my first topic, Fiji. And hopefully you guys will look more into it on Google, Wikipedia, or something else. Or you can comment me, I'll probably add more into it to this video.
I hope you guys learned something about my first topic, Fiji. And hopefully you guys will look more into it on Google, Wikipedia, or something else. Or you can comment me and I'll probably add more into it to this video. But let's now hop up to my last topic of the day, which is bungee jumping. You remember me? So where did bungee jumping originated? Huh? Now look into my eyes. Closer and closer and closer. An island called Vanuatu. Now that's your answer, bull. What else do you want? This question is, wasn't there a story about behind this whole bungee jumping? Actually, you're right, bull. There is a story behind this bungee jumping. How it first started. Okay, kids. Here's a story about the whole bungee jumping story. There's a tale. Here's a tale, okay? Okay? So there was a woman. She was a wife. And the wife was running. She was running to the forest, okay? Okay? And as the wife was running, the husband was following. So the husband was following, okay? Okay? You feel me? You feel me? Okay. And as the husband and the wife was running, the wife jumped on the banyan tree. Here's the banyan tree, here's the wife. As the wife jumped on, she wrapped around her her ankles with the liana. It's called binds. Liana called binds. And then as the wife, she was on the banyan tree, the husband jumped on the banyan tree. And the wife, she jumped off. As the wife jumped off, the husband, he jumped off also. What happened? Goodbye, husband. Hello, wife. Okay? Okay, you get the story? Yeah, okay? So I'll tell you the explanation why there was a story. Okay? Okay? And so now, the other men, like after the story, fearing they could face the same situation, they began performing a ritual called Jikol, G-K-O-L, to prove their manliness. And so this ritual they had started is based on young men who wrap their ankles around the liana, which is vines. And so if they succeed in trying to touch the ground with their heads to fertilize the soil for a rich yam to harvest, and so they can prove their manlyhood. It's very scary, but I guess it proves how much manliness you are. And so I hope you guys learned something off this video. How I told you about Fiji, this most beautiful island, but yet I haven't went there in my life. I've just saw pictures about it, and how bungee jumping came, how it started. It's pretty amazing, huh? Jumping off a tree, showing off how manlyhood you are. How manly you are? You know what? I'm gonna try that when I get older. Alright, thank you. Nickie Kate speaking. Deuces.
Thank you, Nickie. Well, if you ever wondered where the bungee jumping came from, well, there you have it, all the way from Fiji. Now, for our next subject, many of you may or may not have tattoos, but given our particular generation, I'm willing to bet that many of you do. However, credit is rarely given to those who are responsible for bestowing upon us this new concept. I mean, who's responsible for this art form? Now keep in mind I said art, not chicken scratch. Tattoo responsibly. Well, let's find out. We'll begin with the word itself, tattoo. This word originated from the Samoan word tatau, which means correct or right. Think of confirmation. And in Samoa, it's better known as the pe'a or songai miti. Getting the pe'a was part of a ritual ceremony for young men, sort of like a coming-of-age ceremony. Anywhooser, during this ritual, a chant was often sung and is still sung to this day. This song is known as Ole Tatau a Samoa, which basically tells the legend or the story behind the tatau. You might have heard it. It goes a little something like this. Okay, enough of that. Well, you're probably wondering what it all means. It's basically telling the story of how the tatau came to Samoa. Now, there are many variations of the story, but we're going to stick to the one the song tells us. It's the story of two beautiful ladies, hot stuff if you will, that swam to the island of Fiji. Yeah, I know. While on Fiji, they were introduced to this new concept of art, tattooing. And on their journey back to the islands, they were given a basket of tools for tattooing and a message. Tattoo the women, not the men. And they sang this message all the way back to the islands. But as they swam back to the islands, they encountered a giant oyster in the ocean and dove down to check it out. Well, upon resurfacing, they screwed up the lyrics to the song singing, tattoo the men, not the women, delivering that message instead. Pretty cool, right? So that's the origin of the tattoo. Well, would you look at the time? That's all I got for today. Check you guys next time. Peace.